study spectrum. I am Amreen Rawat and today I am going to start with a new chapter all about electromagnetism from 10th standard state board. In this chapter we will study about magnet, its effect on different particles and magnetism. So whenever we talk about magnet, the first thing that strike our mind is that the childhood in which we used to play with different sorts of magnet. The magnet, we used to bring it from outside and we used to try to stick those magnets on the cupboards and on the fridge at home. Why it was possible? Because it was possible because of certain properties of magnet. The properties are as follows. Very first property, every magnet consists of two poles, south pole and north pole. When two like poles, that means two like poles means either north pole and north pole or south pole and south pole of two different magnets are brought together, they have the tendency to repel each other. Or when two unlike poles such as north pole and south pole are brought together, they will attract each other. And attract means they will try to stick to each other. These are the properties of magnet. Due to this property, it also magnetizes the different material which is kept inside its field. Now this field, magnetic field, we can define as the area under the effect of magnet. And magnetic field lines, the other part of the chapter is magnetic field lines. The next thing related to the magnet is magnetic field line. To study magnetic field line, let us just do a small experiment. Take a cardboard, place a bar magnet at the middle of the cardboard. Now put some iron filings on that bar magnet. You will find that those iron filing will make a specific pattern. Observe the pattern and try to figure that out on a paper. There will be some line pattern on the cardboard around the magnet. These lines are called as magnetic field lines, and the extent till which the field lines are extending are called as magnetic field. To explain magnetic field, let us see an example. We all must have seen the movie Sholay, and we are very much aware of the character Gabbar in the movie. So what was the effect of Gabbar in the village Ramgarh? Whenever Gabbar used to enter the village, there used to be terror in the village. And everybody in the house, they used to hide inside their houses. So due to that terror, but that terror of Gabbar was limited till a certain area. Outside that area, nobody was knowing who was Gabbar. So that area which was covered by the effect of Gabbar in the terms of magnetism is called as magnetic field, and Gabbar is a magnet. The effect till which it extends, the effect of magnet to the extent to which it So to define magnetic field, we say the area under which the effect of magnet is extended. Similar to the case of Gabbar, as we have seen, the area which was covered by Gabbar was in his magnetic field while Gabbar was the magnet. What will happen if somebody else enters his region, like how Jay and Veeru entered his region? Initially, he tried to terrify them, he tried to scare them. And getting scared with Gabbar, they had to fight with him. So that effect was stored on both of them. So that effect makes them, in magnetic field language, we can say, if there is a magnet and some other conductor enters the magnetic field, at the very first chance, it will get magnetized. Then it will start attracting towards the magnet. The same what happened in the movie. First, Jay and Veeru were terrified, or they were very much curious to know about Gabbar, and later on they tried to go to him to fight, which was the attraction of Gabbar towards Gabbar, which were felt by Jay and Veeru. So in this way, we can state that wherever there is a magnet, it has an area of effect. That area of effect is called magnetic field. And if a conductor is placed in that magnetic field, it gets magnetized. This is called magnetic induction. So, this is how we can define or describe magnetic induction. Any conductor which is placed in the magnetic field, it gets magnetized and it starts attracting towards the magnet. So, do you know who is Michael Faraday? Michael Faraday is a scientist. He used to conduct experiments related to electricity. So one day he was conducting an experiment related to electricity in his lab. The lab was completely messy and there were a lot of things spread out on the table. So while doing the experiment, when he started the current started flowing through the wires. A mariner's compass was placed near the wire. He suddenly noticed that there was a slight deflection in that mariner's compass. He was confused why this must have happened. There is no magnet anywhere in the lab, but still there is a deflection in the mariner's compass. Then, after doing a lot of experiments and after a great research, he concluded that electricity and magnetism, they both are closely related to each other. To explain this, he stated that whenever there is an electricity passing through a conducting wire, magnetism or magnetic field is produced around that conducting wire. We can explain it or imagine that if suppose there is a wire which is conducting and electricity is passing through that wire. While electricity is passing, magnetic field will be produced around that wire. This was the relation between electricity and magnetism given by Faraday. Later on, he termed this relation as electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is a relation between electric charge and magnetism. So the term electromagnetism implies. So in his experiment, he also found that wherever there is magnetic field, electric charge is also present. So by that we can say that electricity and magnetism, they are very close relatives of each other. They always exist together. They never come alone. Next, this was then the direction of electric current and magnetic field was then given by right hand thumb rule. In this rule, we can just stretch our thumb with the fingers curled. The stretched thumb shows the direction of the electric current, the flow of electric current. This means the flow of electric current is going in the upward direction, whereas the curled fingers give the direction of the magnetic field. That means if there is a conductor in our hand, so electricity is passing in the upward direction, whereas there is a magnetic field around that conductor. This is right hand thumb rule. After this, another rule was given which states the same, which explains the same term, which was called as corkscrew rule. In this rule, you must have screwed something or fixed a screw on a board. While fixing a screw on a board, you just have to rotate it clockwise. So the direction in which the screw is put gives the direction of the electric current, and the direction in which the screw is rotated, that is clockwise direction, gives the direction of the magnetic field. Even while removing the screw, we have to move it in the anti-clockwise direction. The same rule applies here also. While removing the screw, the direction changes. Now it is coming in the opposite direction. So while removing the screw, the direction of the screw where it is going gives the direction of the electric current, whereas the direction in which we are moving it, that is anti-clockwise direction, gives the direction of the magnetic field. So this is how some scientists gave the direction of electricity, electric current and magnetic field as well, which are closely related to each other. Now let's just discuss what are the uses of electromagnetism. The concept of electromagnetism can be highly used in electric DC motors, in electric bell, because in these instruments, electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy. So we use electromagnetic concept to use the electrical energy to convert it into mechanical form. So in an electric motor, the arrangement is as follows. An electric motor consists of mainly three parts. The very first part of the electric motor is the brushes. The second part is a commutator. Third part is the coil. And the fourth part, it has magnets. Electricity is first passed through the brushes of the motor. There are two brushes, left brush and right brush. At the initial, right brush is supplied with the electricity. From the right brush, the electric current passes through the left brush. And from the left brush, it passes from the axle, using the axle, it passes through the commutator. Because of this, the commutator helps the current to flow till the coil, and it reaches the coil. Because of electromagnetism concept, wherever there is an electric field, magnetic field is produced around that. An electric field is produced around the flow of current. And because of this concept, the coil gets magnetized and it gets transformed into magnet. The upper portion of the coil gets converted into the north pole and the lower portion gets converted into south pole. As soon as they get the property of magnetism, they start rotating as per the field lines. The field lines always goes from north pole to the south pole. So the upper north pole, they turn to south pole. And again, there is a break where the electric current is still passing through it, but the coil, they rotated one half. Because of the continuous motion of the continuous electric supply and continuous magnetic field, it again rotates, and in this way an electric motor is rotated continuously with the help of magnet. With the same arrangement, an electric bell also works. In the electric bell, the current is passed. There is a solenoid. Now what is a solenoid? Suppose electric current is passing through a wire. With the current, if we coil that wire on a conductor, or we say on a metal block, such an arrangement of a metal block coiled with a wire of a current carrying wire is called a solenoid. Solenoid, whenever we coil a current carrying conductor, the magnetic field which is around the wire, it get induced inside the metallic body, and because of that it gets converted into a magnet. This is the induced magnetism, and the process is called as electromagnetic induction. So a solenoid is the best example of electromagnetic induction. In the solenoid, now in the electric bell, when current is supplied, it flows through the solenoid. After the flow of current is continuing, the solenoid gets magnetized because of the magnetic field and the concept of electromagnetic induction. There is another bell-like structure which is attached to the solenoid, and there is a gong. Because of electromagnetic power in the solenoid, the bell-like structure which is connected to the solenoid, it also gets magnetized because it is also coming in the magnetic field. As it gets magnetized, it starts attracting the other bell, the gong of the bell, which is also made up of a metal, towards itself. when the gong of the bell touches the bell, the supply of the current breaks immediately and it stops. And as soon as it stops, again the electric current is passed through it and the bell rings. This is how the electric bell works, and which is one of the application of electromagnetic induction. So as we saw the working of electric motor and an electric bell, in both the cases electrical energy was converted into mechanical energy. Now this was then the direction of electrical energy, magnetic field and the mechanical work done was given by Fleming's left hand rule. In this rule, to study this rule, we first have to stretch our fingers. First stretch the thumb, then the first finger and then the second finger, all perpendicular to each other. In this case, the direction of the thumb is giving the direction of the mechanical work done or the force applied. The force applied is in the upward direction, whereas the first finger gives the direction of the magnetic field and the second finger gives the direction of the electric current. So let us just see it again. The second finger, which is giving the direction of electric field, electric current, that means electric current is flowing in this direction. When electric current is flowing in this direction, a magnetic field is produced around it in this perpendicular to it. And because of this magnetic field, a mechanical force is applied to do mechanical work in the upward direction as given by the thumb. So Fleming's left hand rule gives the proper direction to current, magnetic field as well as the force applied.
Choose the right kindergarten, a right bag and matching bottle to go with, the right school, the right friends, choose the right subjects and score well, be an expert in all, the right teacher and make sure that they like you, choose the right timing, the right bus and take a cab if getting late, the right train and don't stand near the gates, mind the pockets, better get into ladies' compartment. Make sure your mustache hasn't started coming. Choose the right study time and forget games, IPL, IHL, rock and metal, guitar, axe. The right group and be a model to your brother. Seriously. Choose the right syllabus, the right test paper. Keep guessing questions for exams. Choose the right branch, the right college, the right stream. Choose the right career. Lucky to have a father's business to take care of and a father to allow that. The right counselor, the right form and make sure the project is submitted on time. Choose the right website and rely on your friends for more information. Oblivious of the sites they have been to, there is no end to your woes. Getting better with every step you climb up the ladder. The summer vacation shorter, the bucket list bigger. The night darker, the books heavier. The only light you have is your friends ahead of you. Probably he is right. Ever thought how he got the direction? No more spending your energy and money on coaching classes. No more missing classes for rain, rally and nonsense. Get your interest back in subjects through our creative ways of teaching. Doubts, concepts, applications, all explained through one vibrant animation. Subjects covered by multiple teachers with repeat telecasts. Special programs only for basic foundation and paper analysis. Personality development, career counseling, admissions, hobbies, all covered. A new approach to study with long-term perspective. So sit back comfortably in your homes and watch Study Spectrum TV channel.
let's see what is galvanometer. Galvanometer is a device which detects the presence of electric current in an electric circuit. Whenever there is electric current in the electric circuit, the galvanometer shows some deflection. It neither has a positive terminal nor a negative terminal. It can show deflection in any direction. So wherever there is no current passing through the circuit, galvanometer will show zero deflection. That means the needle of the galvanometer will remain constant. It will not move. Current also has two types. Current is either DC or AC. DC means direct current, whereas AC means alternating current. Direct current has a tendency to flow directly, that means without change in the direction, whereas AC current flows with periodic change in the direction. It shows periodic changes it goes from positive to negative and then negative to positive. If we see it on a graph, if we try to plot the flow of current on a graph, we obtain a wave which is having a frequency. The frequency of direct current is always zero, whereas the frequency of alternating current is about 50 Hz, which is supplied in India. Last time we saw the working of an electric motor. In an electric motor, electrical energy was converted into mechanical energy, and we use that amount of mechanical energy to do some mechanical work. But in case of an electric generator, we are converting mechanical energy into electrical energy. In other sense, we can also say that the reverse effect of electric motor can be called as a generator. So in case of generator, there are two generators. One which produces a alternating current and the other which produces direct current. Alternating producing generator are as same as the electric motor. We are just reversing the working of an electric motor. In an electric motor, we had three major components which were used. The first were the brushes, the commutator and the magnet, and also a coil which then was converted into a magnet. In the same way, an electric AC generator also consists of the same components: commutator, brushes, magnets and coil. Initially, mechanical energy, the form of energy which we obtain from different natural resources, are used to convert it to it is used to rotate the rotor of the turbines, or we can say the generator. Then this rotation of the rotor with the help of axle also rotates the commutator. The rotating commutators are connected with a coil which consists of electric magnets. The magnets then the moving magnet produces electric charge. As per the law stated by Faraday, wherever there is electric current, there is a magnetic field around it. Also, he stated that wherever there is magnetic field, electric charges are produced around it. Or we can say wherever a magnet is moving, electric charges are produced around it. So with that concept, the magnets are moved with the help of mechanical energy, and because of that movement of the magnet, electric charges are produced, and these charges are stored in the form of alternating current. Why it produces only alternating current? This is because while the brushes are in motion, while the brushes are conducting, that means when current is passing through the brushes, it has two brushes basically, brush 1 and brush 2. While the current is passing, it first passes through the brush 1. At the same time, the brush 2 remains refrained from the electric current. That means there is no current in the brush 2. And when the current passes through the brush 2, then that means the other half, the first half of the electric motor remains refrained from the electric current. This is the only reason why an alternating current can be generated using the reverse mechanism of electric motor, which is known as an electric current generating generator. Now the case of direct current. Even while producing direct current, we use the same mechanism. Same kinds of components are used: commutator, the brushes, the coil and the magnets. when the coil of the DC generator is rotating in the magnetic field, potential difference is produced, and this potential difference is converted into electric current. Such kind of generators are also called as dynamo, and this produces only direct current which flows in a particular direction throughout. And such generators, they produce only direct current throughout their life till the time they are running. This is because one of the brush out of the two is always in contact with the mechanical energy due to which, or the magnets due to which, direct current is produced. There is no change in the direction of the current. The frequency of this current is always zero. Direct current cannot be used all the time in the household appliances because it is of high risk. There are some measures to be taken while dealing with the direct current. So, we prefer using alternating current in the household and even in the factory sometime for our daily appliances. While the electric supply is concerned, we always use thick cables, black cables, which consist of three main wires inside it. The three thick wires are, one of them is neutral, other is phase, which is the live wire, and the third is earthing. Wherever we are using direct current, earthing is very much required. It resists the person from getting direct electric shock. Direct electric shocks are also fatal, which may lead to death of a person. So in this way, electricity is supplied to our houses using so many precautions. Before reaching our house, where the place where electricity is generated, initially that place does not have any residences because of high fatal risk. 100 meters of the area is highly suggested not for residentials and any factory or any living thing to live or to dwell. The thick black cables which are used to supply electricity, they, starting from the point where the electricity is generated, they are made to travel to the cities or countries. Such cables are called as power lines. They are either put underground or they are transported through tall towers. Such power lines, first they supply energy to the national grid. National grid are the places in the countries wherever the total amount of electricity is first stored. Then deciding the amount of electricity to be supplied to different states and different cities, the national grid, they further supply them. From the national grid, the electricity is then transferred to the substations or stations, electric stations, which are situated in particular cities or each city of that country. The substations, then they have a responsibility of cutting down the high voltage of power to 220 to 250 volt, which is preferable for daily home appliances. And that amount of electricity, that is the amount of electricity which we receive every day in our daily life or at home. electric current, we have to be very precautious because electric current can also be fatal. It may lead to death. Direct touching bare electric wires can lead a man to die. So, the wires that we are using at home and also in the factories or any places should not be bare. It should contain insulating coating. Some insulating material should be coated on those wires so that nobody touches it barehanded. While using electric current or using electrical appliances, we should always wear slippers. Slippers are bad conductor of electricity, and because of that, it does not allow electricity to pass through your body. So it always helps us to stay away from the death risk. The other precaution that we can take is we can use electrical fuses. Now electrical fuses, which are the electrical breakup circuits. Electrical fuses help if there is some excess supply of electricity through an appliance. It always cuts down the supply at the same time, because of which we can save our appliances from getting burnt due to excess supply of electricity. The third, earthing. Many electrical appliances which are bare or metallic bodies, such as electric heaters, electric refrigerators, such appliances should have an earthing wire into the out of the three. It is very necessary, such so that if electricity is passing through the appliance, when electricity is passing through the appliance, due to some short circuit, it may get damaged. And to get safe from the damage or to be safe from that electric direct current, we should use earthing wire. Whenever the live wire and the neutral wire comes in contact with each other, there is a possibility of a short circuit. What happens in a short circuit? Actually, short circuit means the resistance of that appliance or that circuit becomes very less, and due to this, a large amount of electricity start flowing from that circuit. Due to that excessive electric energy or electrical current, it heats up, and there is also a chance of the circuit catching fire. So even short circuits can be fatal. Now let's just solve some exercise part. The very first question of the exercise is fill in the blanks with the correct alternative. First question in that is the device used in producing electric current is called generator. The second fill in the blank, the question is at the time of short circuit in a circuit, the amount of electricity present in the circuit becomes more or it increases. The third question is the direction of magnetic field around a straight conductor carrying current is given by dash. So the amount of electricity or the direction of electricity as well as magnetic field is given by the Fleming's left hand rule. The second question of the exercise, the B part, is state whether true or false. First question under that, magnetic poles always exist in pair. The statement is very much true because every magnet has a south pole as well as north pole. So it always comes in pair. There cannot be a south pole alone and north pole alone. The second question for true or false is magnetic field increases as we go away from the magnet. This statement is false because magnetic field has a limit which is called, so it is called magnetic field. As we go away from the magnetic field decreases. The third question, magnetic lines of forces always cross each other. This is also false. The magnetic lines of forces, they can never cross each other because they are always parallel to each other. They are always moving parallel to each other. Wherever there is more stronger magnetic field, they can be very much close to each other, but they cannot cross each other. The fourth question is, electric generator is used to generate electric current. it is a true statement. The device which is used to generate electricity is called as a generator, and the device which is used to generate DC electric, or we can say direct current, is also called as dynamo. Now the C part of the exercise. C part of the exercise is find the odd man out. The very first question in the to find the odd man out is loudspeaker, microphone, electric motor and a bar magnet. The odd out of this is a bar magnet, because the rest three are the applications of electromagnetic induction where the bar magnet is not applicable. The second question is armature coil, the brushes, commutator and direct current. These all the components are the components of electric generator where the direct current is not applicable. The third question is fuse, insulating material, rubber, shoes and a generator. The odd one is a generator, where the rest of the things are used as a precaution of electric current. They are non-conducting, so they do not conduct electricity, so they can be used to protect from the electric current, where the generator is used to generate electricity. So generator is the odd one. The fourth question is voltmeter, ammeter, galvanometer and thermometer. Here, as we all know, thermometer is the odd one, because all the rest of the three can be used to measure something related to electricity or electric current, where the thermometer is used to measure temperature. The second question under exercise is define the following. Very first question is magnetic field. So what is a magnetic field? The definition is whenever there is a magnet and the area under which the effect of magnet is visible, or the area under which the magnetic field of lines appear or exist, is called a magnetic field. The second question is solenoid. What is a solenoid? A solenoid is a conductor which is coiled with an insulated copper wire which is carrying current. The conductor then gets transformed into a magnet, in which the magnetism is induced. So solenoid is a device which consists of induced magnetism. It is a conductor coiled with insulated copper wire which is carrying current. The third define the following is an electric motor. An electric motor is a device which uses electric energy, and it changes that electrical energy into mechanical energy with the help of the concept of electromagnetic induction. In an electric motor, we uses electric energy to rotate the commutator. With the help of that rotation and the electric current, the magnetic field is induced into the coil, and this coil acts as a magnet. When the magnet starts moving, it makes the motor move. This is the working of an electric motor, and in this way electromagnetism or electromagnetic induction is used in an electric motor. Electric motor is one of the application of electromagnetic induction. So the third question in the exercise is state the rules. The very first rule that has to be stated is Fleming's right hand rule. In the Fleming's right hand rule, we just first have to stretch the fingers. Stretch the thumb, stretch the first finger and the middle finger such that they are perpendicular to each other. The thumb indicates the direction of the mechanical energy or the mechanical work done. The middle finger indicates the direction of electric field, whereas the first finger indicates the direction of magnetic field. So this way the first Fleming's right hand rule is stated. The second question is right hand thumb rule. In the right hand thumb rule, we first have to hold a conductor in our hand, in our right hand. While holding the conductor, we have to keep the thumb stretched. The stretched thumb gives the direction of the electric field where it is flowing, whereas the curled fingers gives the direction of the magnetic field. That means wherever there is electric current flowing through a conductor in the upward direction, the curled fingers which states that there is a magnetic field around that conductor. Now the next question. Next question is, we have to distinguish between an electric motor and an electric generator. The very first point that differs each other, the working of it. In an electric motor, electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy, whereas in an electric generator, mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Now question number 6. Question number 6 is give scientific reasons behind. The very first question under that is, wires carrying electricity should not be handled bare-handed or barefooted. Why is that so? The reason behind is, when we touch a wire conducting electricity, there is a chance of high amount of electricity to pass through our body, because of which we may experience a very high shock. This shock may lead to death. So it is very dangerous to handle a wire barefooted. Wearing slippers in the foot helps the electric current to resist from our body. So it is very necessary to wear slippers or any bad conducting material in the legs or in the hands while handling electric wires. The second one is, we should not use many electrical appliances simultaneously. The reason for this is, while we are using many appliances simultaneously, large amount of electric current starts flowing through them, and there is a chance of short circuit. During short circuit, again, a huge amount of electric current starts flowing through the appliances, which heats the appliances, and there is a chance of getting burnt. So to take care of such things, such bad situations to come in life, it is recommended that we should not use many electrical appliances simultaneously. The third question is, alloys like Alnico and Nippermack are used in the industry. The alloys made up of Alnico and Nippermack, they are used in the production of hard permanent magnets. The alloys are also used to make microphones, loudspeakers and such appliances. They are also used in making voltmeters, ammeters and galvanometers. So they are of high value in the industrial region. So they are highly in demand in the industries. The fourth question is, magnetic cranes are used to lift or load or transport the scrap iron. Magnetic cranes helps because of its magnetism. A magnetic field, it also converts the iron which comes in contact with it into magnets, due to which it is easy to lift the iron appliances or iron scrap with the help of those magnets, and it becomes very easy to lift or transport iron scrap from one place to another. So this was all about electromagnetism. In which we studied how electric current can be converted into electric current, which has magnetic field around it, can be used in different forms. Using the same concept, we also generate electricity and using the generators and dynamos. We also studied the precautions and the drawbacks of electric current, and also the question answer in the exercise part. So with this, thank you for watching Study Spectrum.